I am on paper. The paper ceiling, the limitations from degree screens to stereotypes that are holding back over 70 million stars. Workers skilled through alternative routes rather than a bachelor's degree. It's time for skills to speak for themselves. Find resources for breaking through barriers at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
If you came across someone struggling with hunger, how would you recognize them?
By their clothes,
their age,
the way they speak.
Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungerInAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America, 200 Food Banks Strong, and the Ad Council.
Welcome into Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Now here are your hosts, Jeff and Nicole Essig.
All right, welcome into the Fitness Fanatics. It is Sunday, March 12th. We're just flying by through the month. I hope everybody
remembered
to spring forward.
This was brand new information for you last night.
Brand new information about 5 o'clock. I was just like, had no clue this was happening. I just really don't have a clue at all about anything that's going on.
Well, now your phone, everyone always says, make sure you turn your clocks back.
Right.
I'm like, everything's automatic.
Yeah,
now.
you don't need to. I still am super skeptical, though. I'm super skeptical that my phone is actually going to do it right. And it did. So
it did. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
anyway,
we have some breaking news here. The Fitness Fanatics now has a sponsorship.
Mm-hmm.
So the Fitness Fanatics is sponsored by Integrative Life Choices. ILC is hiring direct support professionals all over the state of Nebraska, full-time, part-time, days, evenings, and weekends available. People can apply at ilc.net/careers. Direct support professionals work to ensure a meaningful life for the people they support. They work to support people in achieving their hopes and dreams. Again, that is Integrated Life Choices. So we appreciate them so much for sponsoring the Fitness Fanatics. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, good job. You did a good job.
Okay, thank you. Yes, so that was my first ever read.
I know, you did
sponsor.
Really good. It sounded good.
All right, so again, we appreciate them. Integrative Life Choices is the new sponsor of the Fitness Fanatics. So we're so appreciative of them. All right, so let's get into this. We have a lot to cover. We have a action-packed show today. Brandy Benson's going to be joining us here in about 30 minutes. Farrell's is partnering with another organization, which is kind of the theme of the show, but we won't talk about that yet.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of a little teaser, but something very exciting that we have going on at the gym. There is some big news. Well, a couple things. Okay.
It's a lot to talk about.
Before we get into the Bears, I want to talk about something that happened in my car. So if anybody has ever experienced anything like this or any tips or pointers for me, you can text us in 402-464-5685 on the Starter Heyman text line. Okay, so I had Friday, took our sons to work, and I had a little bottle of Fairlife protein or chocolate milk.
Yeah.
Very healthy, 30 grams of protein that I drank on the way to the gym. So I got to the gym. I drank it on the way to the gym. Just left the bottle in the front seat of my car. That's what
it was. Was in the front seat or the cup holder?
It was in the okay. So it was in the cup holder.
Okay, that's important information.
It was in the cup holder. So after the gym, after I left Meadow Lane, I stopped at Good Sense. Shout out to Good Sense.
Mm-hmm.
It was Good Sense Fridays here at the Ticket.
Which would have been Culver's, but you made your goal is to not eat Culver's. So
probably would have been Culver's,
right.
But we opted for something a little more healthier. And we had a 3-hour kickboxing event on Saturday. So we wanted to get some good carbs. So anyway, stopped at Good Sense, got ourselves some subs, came home. I was home around, probably 6:30. And then I had to leave to pick Ben up from Culver's. He got off at 9. So anyway, when I got my Good Sense, I took my bottle of Fairlife and put it in my front seat. That's just, instead of throwing it away, I just put it in the front seat. Okay, so
you probably passed like 2 garbage cans.
Yeah,
when you went inside Good Sense, you definitely could have thrown.
Well, and the garbage can right outside of our garage door.
Well, yeah, but your hands were full.
Yeah, I will. Okay, so I went to pick Ben up from Culver's. I go to move the Fairlife bottle, and he was like, "What is all this stuff here?" like little. I mean, I picked the bottle up and there was just like little pieces of white just on the seat.
Mm-hmm.
And I picked up the bottle and part of the bottle was chewed off.
This is getting
If you
interesting.
could see Harrison's
It's a
face
big setup. It's
right
a
now.
big setup. Build up. Hopefully people are still listening.
I was thinking
Okay.
like mold and
No.
Right. Yeah,
chew.
that
No.
would be bad.
So what we discovered was that between 6:30 p.m. and 8:50 p.m., a little mouse climbed into my car.
Or it was already there. might
Or
have
it was
already been
in my
there.
car. I don't
Yeah.
know. If maybe it jumped in the Meadow Lane Park. I have no idea. But a mouse chewed on the cap of my Fairlife bottle. And, you know, I kind of feel violated. Right. And so then I also had a box of like the Kind bars that I was going to take them into the gym. There was like one left. Well, apparently this has been happening.
That's why I think it's hanging out in there.
Right. It's been happening for a long time because this mouse also ate one of the Kind bars.
the whole thing, or
the
just
whole
partial?
thing.
The whole thing.
Over, I don't even know how long this has been
Chewed
happening.
into the box and into the wrapper.
Into the box, ripped it open, and ate it. And there are little crumbs in my back seat on the floor. Okay. So ever since then, when I get into my car, I'm just like nervous that I'm going to see a mouse in there. It's going to run across my lap while I'm driving. I would probably crash.
So
if a
you're
mouse.
still not sure that it's in your car right now. as
Well,
we talk.
we looked, like Ben and I were looking on Friday night, but I clean it out? No. I've not done that.
You're afraid to a little bit.
Well, I'm not scared of a mouse, but it's more like it's just startling. Like, you know, if I'm reaching and I'm grabbing something and there it is, I would just be startled.
Yeah,
like,
I feel that. You
I
don't want it crawling in your sleeves and whatnot.
Right. It's yes, right? I mean, can you imagine
Great.
if you're driving
New fear unlocked for Jeff.
and a mouse just runs
Sleep.
across my shoulders? Like I would get in a car accident.
It's gonna do that. I don't think it's gonna run across your shoulders. But okay, my thing is though, interestingly enough, because we've had mice in our garage before.
We thought we took care of
and
this.
we did not know. But apparently there was a whole party.
Oh, no, just a
of mice.
Yeah, just
a family reunion.
We might have talked about this when we cleaned out our garage about a year ago.
Yes, because we had a garage sale.
I mean,
the mice
just
chewed
made
up
like
our daughter's wiring in her car.
Yep.
It was a whole thing.
But we thought we took care of it.
Yeah.
And our
So
cat.
This is the second car attack from the mice.
Different car. But the
I don't
interesting
know.
thing is there was no mouse poop anywhere, which
well, there
makes
was
me...
one piece I found.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but for a whole Kind bar.
Right. That you think that'd be a lot more somewhere. We got to get that car cleaned out.
So anyway,
the moral of the story is don't put food in your car.
If anybody's had anything like that, or if I should feel justified in feeling violated,
It's like when you get something stolen.
right.
Or whatever.
That's what I feel like.
Yeah. You just feel like someone's in your space.
Right. Like now I get into my car and I'm like,
something.
is there something in here? Is this thing gonna crawl up my
Do you
pant
make
leg?
an announcement? I'm getting in the car now.
Well,
I
now
kind
I-
of did that. I kind of did that Friday morning or yesterday morning because I was worried. Like, what if it was the one in my car?
Well, now we're starting to let our cat back out in the garage because we're pretty sure the cat killed 2 mice, and they've never been in the house. Like, never go in the house.
No.
So we let the cat out there, and so now hopefully she can get on the prowl.
Who knows? This might be a new symbiotic relationship you have for years. You and the mouse just driving around. You feed it Kind bars. Could be a fan of the show. Maybe it's just like, what is Jeff eating?
Right.
You know?
And we've had
a
him,
little fitness fanatic in there eating Kind bars
yeah.
and Fairlife protein shakes.
and we've had a mouse, not in any of our gyms here in Lincoln, but we had a mouse at our gym in Altoona.
Yeah, we've talked about that before too.
Ate a Quest bar, climbed up on a shelf.
That one was a punk too.
And it was like a big mouse because like I remember sitting in the office and we were trying to catch it, and we had direct TV in our office at the gym in Altoona, and somebody's like, well, there's the mouse. And I look back and it's scaling the wire, the direct, like
up to the
swinging
ceiling.
like it's Tarzan. And I'm just like, and it just freaked me out. You know, we ended up catching it. You know, we tried to do one of the little live traps where it walks in there and then scoops it up.
Yeah.
It was too smart for that.
It was
But you go get one of those 25-cent old school brown
Snapped ones.
snap traps, bam, caught it
That's
within a
mean.
day.
I don't like that.
Well, but my problem is people are like, that's so mean. And I'm like, the other ones are way more horrible.
Right.
That
They
one's,
can be.
That one's instant. The other ones is like,
Yeah.
we're going to trap you in this little room and you're just going
Right.
to eat poison for a few
Right.
days,
I
buddy.
know.
It's like,
Yeah.
that seems way worse
We
to
were
me.
going to let it go. We were going to let it out.
We tried,
Yeah. If we had done the live catch one. But
but you know, we
it probably
can't-
would have came back because were right up against like a wooded area at
Yeah.
that gym.
well,
So
we can't have a mouse running across the gym floor.
we
That's
never
just
saw
not-
it on the gym
Yeah, it was
floor,
just in
but-
the kind of in the back area in our office and
Office.
stuff. But
So that's
so that's
the new
just
saga.
a fun little story.
Mhm. Is it fun?
He might move out. It'll get nicer here.
Hopefully,
No.
geez,
might not.
I thought we were done with them, but
Yeah.
apparently not. So
I know. You'll probably need to clean your car out a little bit.
we did at the gyms on Saturday. This is kind of our
Moving on.
win of the week for us. Well, it was a really good week last week. It was
Mhm.
started off when we left the show. We went down and checked out the women's bowling event,
We did.
which I was fired up at this thing. Like this was like I was wanting to stand on the bleachers and throw
Throw
the
bones.
bones after every strike, but Nicole's like, "Yeah, you probably don't want to do that. They might be a little embarrassed." So, and they told us too, like, 'cause when they were on our show, Amara and Gwen were like, "Hey, can I like scream at this? Like, let's go!" And they're like, "Nah, you probably need to." You
There
know.
was another school that was kind of obnoxiously cheering, so we didn't want to.
Yeah, and
be
they
those
were
people.
terrible. They
I
were like,
was-
Yeah,
it was. I mean, we lost the match that we watched. The
Yeah.
the
we
bowl-
found out later. I don't think we needed to win. That
No,
event. They
so
were
it was
already.
just kind of
yeah.
so Nebraska won the Big Red Invitational, but
Yeah,
we
they
were,
rolled through
Yeah.
pretty easily.
well, they lost the one we were watching,
Mhm.
and
It was the last one of the day.
I've bowled, and you know, I know the ins and outs and the excitement of hearing that crash for a strike and the agony of leaving one pin, and
Lots
so
of spares.
every ball we were just like, it was great. I mean, I loved it.
It was fun to watch. Yeah,
So I think next year I want to go like watch more of it.
Mhm. It was
But I
fun.
need to get there early because it was standing room only.
It was. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was on my tiptoes. I couldn't
Trying to
hardly
see the lane and
Yeah.
yeah.
Did Trev Alberts made it? Did Matt rule?
Well, we
He-
didn't.
Not
we-
when we were there.
not when
Oh,
we
that's
were
right.
there.
You guys
Yeah.
were only there for a snippet of
Sunday.
time.
Yeah,
yeah,
right
that's
after
right.
our show.
Just
we
the
went out.
last match is all we saw, and it was over after that.
Yeah.
So they were down like 1-0 when we got there, and then they were down 3-0. Then they won. And we're like, well, we
Because it
better
was best
stay.
of 7.
Yeah. And they were bowling against Arkansas State, and there were Arkansas State fans like right next to me. So I don't want to be like getting any, tussle with any opposing bowling fans. And I'm assuming that if you're coming from Arkansas to Lincoln, that your daughter is a bowler, right? So
right.
I mean, I can't imagine just a
You
fan
want to be
like
respectful.
me driving to Arkansas to watch. I mean, maybe there are, but there weren't a lot of Arkansas State fans there, but I'm assuming there were parents and relatives. So I didn't want to be like, oh, you guys are terrible,
Yeah.
right? So
Plus,
Well, we were
like-
losing.
yeah, we were losing.
Plus,
too, so-
Nebraska's like supposed to be the superior school there, so it's even worse
Yeah.
if you're just like, it's like
Right.
all in their face, and it's like you're supposed to win this.
Yeah,
you
and
know?
it's in your town.
Mhm.
And had I known that we had already won the Big Red Invitational,
yeah,
I could have made some comments like they didn't even care.
Oh, quit it. You would not.
They're like just back there throwing reverses and bowling left-handed. No, they weren't. But I mean, between the legs, like trying trick shots, because it is already over, But I didn't know that
No.
at the time. I thought it was like a tournament where like this was like for the finals.
yeah.
And so we were like disappointed when we walked out because I'm like, well, this kind of stinks. But then they had posted that they won. So yeah, I think my mindset and my remarks would have been a little different had I known it was already wrapped up in the bag.
No, that would.
They're
been
not even
worse.
trying.
That would have been worse.
Like they're cheering, like, oh yeah, I'm like, guys, what are you cheering about? You lost.
They're cheering on their. They did really well. Arkansas State did really well.
Well, they're ranked like 6th in
Yeah.
the nation, so
Mhm.
they're a good team.
So regardless, we did leave a lot of, we did have a lot of 9s left up there. I mean, we always got the spare, but it was tough. But I'm sure they were tired and stuff like that. But Arkansas State played really well. They
Mm.
bowled really well.
Yeah,
so you
but
couldn't
they
really-
didn't win the invitation.
I know, but
That's what matters.
I'm just saying.
And
Were
then
they
there
supposed
was
to not
another
cheer
team.
on their
I
child?
don't remember what team it was, but they were just like singing. I'm just like, you guys are terrible. Like,
Mara and Gwen talked about that. We won't name the school.
okay, okay. I could.
We
I
didn't know till after we looked at the little
Yeah.
program.
but
We're
then
like,
they were
"What?"
right next to Nebraska, like
Mhm.
so we could see both
They
games
were loud.
going on.
That's all right. They're
And
just
then we were
having a
like,
good
look,
time.
and Nicole's like, they're not even good, but they're just like,
They were
"Whoa,
just
what?"
being
I mean,
like,
they're having fun.
Yes, they were.
I guess when you're not good, you can have fun.
True.
Right.
Yeah. So, well, we're not going to win. Might as well enjoy
they're
ourselves.
completers, not competitors.
They're like we are. Yeah. They're completers, not competers.
I had lots of fun on a half marathon. I'm never going to win.
Yeah. Shots and stuff like that. Yeah. We have fun. But anyway, so that was really awesome. And then at the gym, Saturday we had what we call our last chance workout. So Harrison, we didn't do this in your 10-week challenge. We actually haven't done it since pre-COVID. So March of 2020 was the last time we did this. It's a 3-hour kickboxing
literally
event.
right before COVID.
Yes. 3-hour kickboxing event. At Yankee Ridge, we had 9 instructors. We rotate every 20 minutes. And at Meadow Lane, we had 7 instructors. And I mean, between the two gyms, we probably had 50 people that did all 3 hours of the kickboxing event. And what's really cool for us and why we wanted to bring this back is because it's a good way to see, like, the first day of the challenge, after 5 minutes, you're like, I don't even know how I just lived through 5 minutes of this. But 9 weeks later, they're doing 3 hours of kickboxing. Now it's not a 3-hour sprint, right? So we kind of compare it to, like, one kickboxing class is running a mile at your fast, like your time mile, and you're just going all out, or like the 200 or 400, right? You're sprinting, you're going for speed and time, where if you do a 400, I remember when Nick ran the 400, right? If Nick does a half marathon, he's not running that pace for 13 miles. It's going to be a lot slower, and he's pacing himself. So that's kind of how we promote it at Farrell's, is it's like, you're not doing a mile, you're doing a half marathon. So we really set it up to be fun for the members. We give breaks where they can get a little snack. And so it's really cool. There was one segment, and I was out there working out, one segment where we did what we call burpee tag, where a member tags somebody. And if you get tagged, you have to do 2 burpees, and then you go tag somebody else. Okay. So
shout out to Amanda, because I'm pretty sure that was her. She started that back in Altoona.
Oh,
Amanda Diaz.
If
Miller.
she's listening.
I know.
Okay. She's probably not listening.
I don't know. She might be.
But anyway, so burpee tag. Yes. So I'm working out in this segment. So out of 45 people in the gym, who do you think did the most burpees?
And why do you think that
it was me?
Because we did burpee tag at Yankee Ridge too, and I really only got tagged maybe 4 times.
Okay, well, there were only supposed to be
and that was usually when I was like, why aren't we burpee tagging? And then I'd get tagged. Or I'd start it again.
Okay.
Like it'd kind of fizzle out, and then I'd start it.
2 people were supposed to be tagging, right? So no more than 2 people were supposed to be doing burpees at any given moment in the gym. Well, there was one point where I had 3 people tag me consecutively. And I was like, why am I doing 6 burpees? There's only supposed to be 2 people doing this.
Well,
so I did a ton.
The consequences of your actions.
I was reaping what I sowed. I'm getting what I deserve. I'm reaping what I sow.
Although we've had Bridget did that in a class a couple weeks ago, and I was just innocently standing behind the counter, and I got tagged to do burpee tag, and I wasn't even working out. So
the members that it was fun though. I did all my burpees, and I could go tag
only
people.
2. It's fine.
It was pretty fun, but it was a grueling 20 minutes for me. Grueling.
How do you feel this morning after your 3 hours?
I feel great.
I do too. I feel better than I thought I was going to.
Yeah, no, I feel good. Again, it's just like, not a 3-hour sprint.
No.
But
my face, my eyes are a little puffy, but I think just because I didn't get fully rehydrated from, it's hard to stay hydrated for that 3 hours.
So it was pretty awesome. Coming up here, we got week 10 next week on the show. Now we have a big party Saturday night at Rosie's to celebrate all of our 10-week challengers, our fit members. I mean, we have 170 people RSVP'd for our room that fits 150. So that should be interesting, but it's going to be an awesome event. We're giving away $2,000 winners, 1 male, 1 female, between the 2 gyms. So we're hoping that we can get one or both of our winners on the show Sunday morning if they have not had too much to drink.
We're all going to make really good choices. We're going to stay hydrated, and it's going to be a fun time.
Probably not. There's
I'm putting it out there in the universe.
Well, you can then.
You're not going to?
You can drive home.
Okay.
Oh, we'll see. All right. So we're going to go to break here. That's kind of our happenings.
We'll bring it because we did not talk about our goals.
I know. We just had to.
I really want to know if Harrison ran because the weather was not good. Mr.
sucked.
Fair Weather Runner. So we'll talk about it when Brandy comes on. We have time.
We didn't even talk about the Bears trade.
Oh yeah, no, we didn't. We'll talk about that at the end. But we have time. So let's hear about Harrison. Did you get your 7 miles in?
Yeah, so I got my miles in. I tried to avoid the cold as much as I can.
Yeah.
But I don't know why the treadmills at the place I live, like they just constantly. I don't know if I just run weird, but like I hit so hard that like it sticks to the bottom and it like stops.
Yeah.
So I had to force myself to go outside.
My treadmill's kind of like that too.
How ours is.
Yeah, but it's just old
it's
and
really old.
We've taken it apart and put it back together a bunch of times. I feel like the motor's just probably not there.
So I was at 6, so I just needed 1 more mile, and obviously with state basketball, not a lot of time. And then the morning I wake up to get this over with. If that was the night I woke up and there's snow on the ground, and I was like, "Are you? What is happening? Are you kidding me?"
I know.
So I ran my mile. I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't a great effort. I was pretty mad about the snow.
Yeah,
I got it done with, so we're good to go.
The next week is just weather-wise just stinks.
It's gloomy. Yeah. I can do with cold, like, but the cloudiness on top of the cold.
It really was. Yeah, that
kind
was
of depressing.
Bummer. Yeah. Well, good.
But I got out a couple times.
You still have to run today at some point.
At some point, yes. But I did do 2.5 miles on Tuesday. I got out and did 2.5 miles on Thursday or Friday, actually. So, but I feel good, and yeah. So,
all right, we'll talk about it more with Brandy.
All right, so Brandy Benson's going to be joining us here coming up. So don't go anywhere. 93.7 The Ticket on the Fitness Fanatics.
Sunday morning. It's quiet, not in a weird, too quiet way. Calm, peaceful, tranquil. You pour yourself that cup of coffee. You slice yourself a hearty chunk of one of Beatrice Bakery's breakfast breads. Now, maybe you're an apple streusel guy. Nothing wrong with that. I can respect that. Personally, I'm a turtle nut man. Something about those pecans. But the real ones know, don't sleep on that date nut bread. Sweet, but not too sweet. Nutty, not overly. The perfect morning treat. Beatrice Bakery. Online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
Mike Shaver here to tell you that Trek CBD has a new name, and it's Hemp Boss. It's the same product you've grown to love, just a new name. Spring sports are on the horizon, and Hemp Boss has a variety of products that help calm me down during games and on the golf course so I don't go over the top. And they have a variety of options for you to calm you down before, during, and after any event. Whether you're looking for drinkable Delta 8 seltzers, hemp-derived Delta 9 syrups for your beverages, or anything else, Hemp Boss has it all at 84th and Andermatt. Hemp Boss, naturally healthy CBD.
I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear, call me Papa Bear because I'm grilling up dinner. You get it?
Yes, good job.
So what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
If you came across someone struggling with hunger, how would you recognize them?
By their clothes,
their age,
the way they speak.
Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungerInAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America, 200 Food Banks Strong, and the Ad Council.
Adoption of teens from foster care is a topic not enough people know about, and we're here to change that. I'm April Dinwiddie, host of the new podcast, Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Each episode brings you compelling real-life adoption, the families that live them, with commentary from experts. Visit adoptuskids.org/podcast or subscribe to Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Administration for Children and Families and the Ad Council.
This message is for Shauna, my mom, who just finished her high school diploma. I wanted to say I'm so proud of you for finishing school. You told me it's never too late to achieve your dreams. I hope to make you as proud as you have made me.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
If you're in Lincoln, Waverly, or the surrounding area, listen up. Select Plumbing gets it right the first time on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate at 402-560-6197. Plus, they're hiring service plumbers. If you're in Lincoln, Waverly, or the surrounding area, contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
My husband and I love to live in Nebraska.
It's the good life.
We always vacation here.
Love those Nebraska state parks.
We love to eat here.
Where are you going to get a better steak?
And we love to play here, especially Nebraska Pick 5 from the Nebraska Lottery. It has a $50,000 starting jackpot, drawing 7 days a week, and all the proceeds go back to our state.
Hey, honey, this weekend, let's buy some Nebraska Pick 5 tickets, go to a state park, and grill some steaks.
Like our first date.
I'm no amateur.
Top prize odds 1 in 501,000. One of the Nebraska Lottery's most explosively fun promotions is back. Cash Blast. Until April 18th, buy a 2x2 ticket, enter the number, and you could win $5,000 or $500. If your winning voucher is from a 7-day draw ticket or a multiple of 7 ticket, your prize is doubled. There will be 7 weekly drawings and 14 total winners in Cash Blast. So play today. You'll have a blast. But that goes without saying. 2x2 top prize odds 1 in 105,000.
Don't let biased algorithms or degree screens or exclusive professional networks or stereotypes. Don't let anything keep you from discovering the half of the workforce who are stars. Workers skilled through alternative routes rather than a bachelor's degree. It's time to tear the paper ceiling and see the stars beyond it. Find out how you can make stars part of your talent strategy at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
Now back to Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, we are back here. We are joined in studio by Brandy Benson. She is one of our longtime instructors and coaches out at Farrell's at the Meadow Lane location. So
Meadow Lane.
I know.
Quit it.
It's good though. It's good. So
Speaking of
anyway,
salty attitude.
yeah, right. I'm assuming you don't like my sweatshirt I was wearing that says Meadow Lane on it.
You know what? I will be honest with you. I'm going to say this once and never again.
One time, okay.
And I kind of want you to plug your ears because I've told Nicole.
Yeah.
I really like the Meadow Lane location better.
Yeah.
But I'm never going to pretend like I do.
I know. She's sad we moved from the Pioneers location.
Well, there's a lot of there's a lot of good things about it.
I
mean,
love it. It's
a
bigger.
great
There's more
spot.
space.
Yes.
Like there's more TVs. The sound
Parking's
system's better. The
Yeah.
parking is better.
We understand. We moved. Imagine you have to drive like 6 minutes longer. We moved 3 hours
Yeah.
away from our home gym. So
yeah, I get it.
Mhm.
Yeah, the only reason I'm salty is because I could roll out of bed at like 4:50 and get there by 4:55 to teach at 5.
Yeah.
And now I have to like leave at like 4:42.
Yeah.
And I just don't
Well,
like
and
it.
you're a little salty because there was never a merchandise order that said Pioneers on it.
That's probably what it is.
I
That's
know.
probably
I
you
don't
guys,
know
I
why.
found this shirt this morning
We
and
never
it's
did
like
that.
I feel like I got like a baby one. Like it's so tight and I don't know how long I've had it or where I got it, but
Oh, that's funny. It is weird that we never did that, but I apologize.
All right, Brandy. So we're starting a new program at Farrell's.
yes.
That you're kind of the lead behind all this. So
Yes.
this segment here, this first segment, I'm going to talk about like kind of your like what we're doing, your passion behind it, a little bit of your background, and how all of this even came to fruition. We haven't told the audience. I don't know if you were listening on your way in, but we haven't.
I was.
We haven't said what we've been doing, like what we did yesterday or anything. So nobody really knows what's happening.
So yeah, so and we'll talk about it a little bit in more detail, but we are partnering with a nonprofit organization called Down to Box, and their goal and mission is to provide a space to teach individuals with Down syndrome how to box, and how to be active, and just to have fun. And so like you said, I've been at Farrell's for 7 years. I did my 10-week challenge in 2016 and then started instructing probably like 3 months after I finished that. And the reason I started doing Farrell's is because I really like to run, but my knees don't like when I run. So I had to find something else, some way to be active. And I just fell in love with working out at Farrell's. I mean, you guys talk about it all the time on air. It's just an environment that is very welcoming. You can go at your own pace. You don't have to be a world-class kickboxer. You just have to be someone who has an attitude that wants to try. I love that we can adapt and modify things to accommodate anybody's needs. And so that's how I started at Farrell's. And then also in my day job, I am a teacher. I teach at Lincoln Southwest. And one of the things that I really love that I get to be a part of is our unified programs. And unified at our school, in our community, is an opportunity to partner students with and without disabilities in a partnership and a way to do things collectively so that we can create a more inclusive environment for all students of all abilities at school.
Now, is unified, is that like an LPS thing or is it kind of like a national type thing?
So it's a little bit of both.
Okay.
So it kind of branched off of Special Olympics. And there are different states, different schools, different places that do unified things. I don't know if they do them the same way. I would assume they're similar. I would assume they call it the same thing, but in the state of Nebraska, everybody calls it unified sports. So there are 2 unified sports currently offered in the state of Nebraska. You can do unified bowling and you can do unified track. And so they started unified bowling 7 years ago. And the idea behind it was that it's an easy sport that anybody can do. Maybe not well, but anybody can do it.
I don't do it well.
I don't coach it well. So, so I started doing that. And then we also have a wonderful special education department at my school. And some like groundbreaking people who have been doing unified things before they were called unified. Lynn Strack, Liz Brendan are 2 of my coworkers and also co-coaches, and they did adaptive PE for years and years and years at Southwest. And then just a couple of years ago, Lincoln Public Schools adopted it. So now we've changed the name from adaptive PE to unified PE. And so again, we have more partners, we have more athletes, and it's just high school kids getting to do high school PE things. And so at our school, like I said, we've been very lucky to have the opportunity to expand our unified stuff. And so we currently offer unified bowling, unified track, unified PE. This year we implemented unified choir. We have unified club. We have unified council, which is similar to student council, except the focus is on finding like inclusive things for the entire school and educating the entire school community about disabilities and how we can include everybody. We have unified book club. We have unified walking club. We have a unified family night that happens once a quarter. And then we also, because it's not fully a unified thing yet, we're just testing it out. We call it inclusive. So we also have inclusive cheer and inclusive yearbook. So we've kind of just taken this idea of including things and modifying things and saying like, how can we just blow it up so everybody can do it? And so last semester, I'm also taking grad classes right now so I can get my special education endorsement because I just need a couple more classes to do that. And so I took a class last semester and the final project was to find something to do with special education. That was really the parameters. It was, you can research different opportunities. You can write a paper about something that you want to do more research on. Like I said, it was very broad. And so I had come to you guys and I had said, so I have this project I want to do, and I'm going to use you guys as like an interview source so we can like pretend like we're putting together this thing. I remember because Jeff had said, but it's pretend, right? Because you're not going to say we're doing something and then you don't show up to do it. And I was like, no, it's not real yet. Like I'm just playing around with the idea. And then I talked to you, Nicole, and you were like, well, what's your idea? And I said, so I want to create something at Farrell's where we are partnering with like an organization in Lincoln to create a space to do kickboxing for individuals with disabilities. And then another side note, another part of my past, present, current things that I do, I've been a board member for the Down Syndrome Association for Families in Nebraska for the last 6 or 7 years. And so I also do a lot of things with that organization as well. And so I'd said, is there a way that we can do something with these 2 groups? Or in my makeup plan, can we do something? And Nicole had said, well, there's already an organization called Down to Box that 2 other Farrell's locations do that you should look into. Don't reinvent the wheel. It's something that's already being done. And so that's kind of where it started. I reached out to Down to Box. I reached out to the 2 Farrell's locations in Minnesota and Wisconsin that have branches of Down to Box. I wrote my paper. I was very honest in my paper and said, I don't know what's happening with this, so I don't really know how to conclude it.
Right.
And as luck would have it, I'm taking the second class now, which also needs a final project. And after December, when I came to the gym, Jeff was like, "So are we doing this or not?" And I was like, "Oh, like we're really gonna do it." And so here we are, like we're it's taking off, and in a couple weeks we're gonna start the program. So
yeah, we're excited.
Oh, I was just got a text from John. So
okay.
You have a question for Brandy?
No, I just said we're excited about it. It's a great opportunity and opens, us up to, we're not in that world. We don't really, we're kind of, and everybody is, everyone's in their own little worlds. We're doing our thing and stuff. And so it's really cool to see just the network. You could even tell the families and how connected they are and stuff like that. So that was really cool.
And I think, one of the things, we talk a lot at school about the culture we've created with Unified and this idea that we don't want this to just be something that you just show up to do, right? Just like when you're on a basketball team, just like when you are a part of show choir, you don't just show up and then leave and never see these people again. These people are a part of your life now. And, we never want to force people to do anything, but a lot of our students find that they have a lot more in common with each other than they thought they did. And so one of the best things that we've had is, getting to go to graduation parties where we see all of our Unified people there. You run into somebody who graduated 2 or 3 years ago and finding out that they still have maintained those friendships. They go out for coffee, they go to the movies and stuff like that. And I think that was a big piece in wanting to start it as well. I didn't even know that Down to Box had like a kids class. I thought it was only for teens and young adults. And so my logic for starting the class was there really isn't anything to do after high school as far as Unified. There's a couple of things you can do, there's different things you can get involved in, but there's not a ton of things. And so what's one more thing going to hurt if we find one more thing for people to do, to make friendships, to get in shape, to have fun. And so we found out yesterday we do have 2 different options of classes and they are very different paced.
So you went to Omaha.
Yes.
Okay. So we didn't know that this was even in Nebraska, right? At the time. Okay. So tell us a little bit about that experience. You found a location in Omaha and so, go walk us through that. How the class went when you went and observed and so kind of walk us through that.
So when I originally contacted Lauren, who's one of the co-founders of Down to Box, I'd said, we're in Lincoln. I would really like to start a branch of this or a chapter. I don't know what you would call it, but I really would like to have this in Lincoln. And she said, oh, we already have one in Nebraska. It's in Omaha. Talk to this person. And Amanda is the person's name. She's the event coordinator in Omaha. And she had emailed back and said, no, Lincoln and Omaha are like an hour apart. So they're actually further apart than you would think they are. But Brandy's more than welcome to come and observe. And so I got to go and watch just the first session of their 10-week session or 7-week session. I can't remember what they do, but I got to go up there and just kind of sit and hang out and observe. And it just was really fun. Like I knew within 5 minutes of being there, it was something that I wanted to do. I knew it was something you guys would want to do. Their Down to Box is operated by a really, really good trainer. His name is Milton Lopez. We hung out with him yesterday. And I think the cool thing that makes the program work is just this passion to have fun and to include people and to make them feel welcome, right? We're all people. That's all people want, is to have people listen to them, to have people welcome them, to feel like they belong somewhere. And I knew instantly when I walked in to the facility there that it was going to be a lot of fun. And so the way theirs is set up, their gym is smaller than ours. And they had 10 participants, I think, that were there that first day. And every participant, every boxer has a volunteer to help in case their feet are set up wrong, their punching is not the way it's supposed to be or whatever. They're there to help them. And so what they did is Milton and Brent kind of separated up those 2 groups. And one group was working on different boxing combos and one group was doing off the bag stuff. And the thing that I loved, you guys know this, I love ferals, but I'm not going to do anything I don't want to do. And I know I should. I know that's not a good mentality, but it's
good to have boundaries.
But you'll see me in class when you guys are like, do this. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. And so I just remember being there, and the one group was doing jumping jacks. And after about 10, some of the participants were like, I don't want to do this anymore. And I was like, these are my people. And
honestly, it's such a great lesson that we can learn too, though. Like, it is a lesson in boundaries. And there's not that doubt or fear of like, it was just like, nope,
I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
And what
like
I love,
Mia would just flip her gloves off and run away. And it was the greatest thing ever. And then she'd come back.
And then she's ready.
Yeah.
And I love because, and what Milton and Brent do such a good job of is, like I said, they were like, I don't want to do this anymore. And they're like, let's do 5 more, 5 more.
Yeah.
Right. So everybody did 5 more. And then it was, let's go take a water break. And I think that, yesterday, the same thing, there's a lot of water breaks. There's a lot of chances to kind of regroup and come back. And I think that's really nice because, if something doesn't, we do this in our day-to-day lives. If something doesn't go well, we take a break from it and we come back and try again. And so I think it's nice because boxing is something that's new to a lot of people. And if there's something that's frustrating, there's lots of time to take a break and we're going to go do something else. And so after I was in Omaha, after that session was done, I got to sit and talk to Milton for a little bit. And he was like, I would be more than happy to help in any way possible if you guys get this going. And so Lauren set him up with us, and he came and hung out with us yesterday. And yeah.
So we'll talk about our experiences with this class, and it was kind of like a demo class to have some of the kids come out and try
see if we could even do it
and train us too. Yeah.
Yes, yes. And it was a training that Milton came, and we had at the training yesterday. We had us 3, and then we had another instructor, Hutch, that was there. And at Farrell's, we have like 42 instructors. And we probably had another 7 to 10 instructors of ours that are interested in helping,
right?
And being not a counselor, but what did you call
volunteer?
A volunteer, yes, to work with them or even teach the class.
Right.
But our spring break just started, so there's a lot of our instructors that are out of town for spring break. So we have a really huge interest from our instructor, which I knew we would.
Sure.
That want to come and help. So
what I thought was cool though too, Brandy, is that you had former students too, which is so cool. Like that just shows like the impact that just Unified has had, and it's something that has like ignited passion in other people that, and now people had like they have an opportunity to keep helping out, and it was really cool to see.
Well, and we have when we knew we were going to do the training, I reached out to multiple alums and told them about it. And similar, because UNL spring break is the same time as our spring break at school, so a lot of them couldn't be there, but a lot of them were also interested. And I think one of the things that Unified has done for me is really open my eyes to the ways in which we don't do a good job in society of helping with everybody, right? And making sure everybody can do everything. And I'm not just talking about like sports and activities. Like I'll go into a restaurant now and I'm like, oh my gosh, the lights in here are too light or too bright. The music in here is too loud. Or I'll go through a doorway somewhere and I'm like, this is not big enough for somebody who is in a wheelchair. Like, I think it's something that, like you said, we get going in our day to day. And what works for us, and we don't really realize the ways that it doesn't work for other people. And so what I've loved about Unified is just that, is I hope that, my students take what they've done, take what they've seen, and they go out and do that and create opportunities for other people. A couple of years ago when Lincoln Public Schools implemented Unified Track, I invited Justin, my husband, out to come and watch one of our track meets. And after the meet was done, I said, well, what did you think? And he said, we have to get this going at Norris. And so that summer we sat down and we typed up a proposal for the board, and he presented it, and they got Unified Track going. And it's just, again, if you're not aware of it, you don't know the things that you can change. And I don't think you realize the impact it can have, even if you only have 2 people, 3 people, 4 people. That's 2 or 3 or 4 people that didn't have an opportunity to do something before that. So,
well, and full disclosure for me, we on the show, instead of saying average Joe, we say average Jeff, because I'm just like really oblivious to everything. I didn't even know it was.
No.
I didn't even know we're springing forward.
Right.
Like 5 p.m.
But you made it here. So that's good.
Well, that's because I live with people that know what's happening.
Thank God for Nicole.
Yes. So we went to Ben and I, our son. We went to the Nebraska-Iowa women's basketball game last month, and they were saying at halftime it was a unified basketball game. Well, me being clueless on everything, I had no idea what that was.
Even though Brandy's posted about unified bowling so many times.
Well,
on Facebook.
Yes, my brain is so just
crammed with useless knowledge.
Sports
I was going
stuff.
to say disconnected. The dots aren't like the magnets don't click.
No,
like,
they don't.
There's like friction.
They don't.
friction.
I'm just, it's so
There's
full
a
of
lot.
just sports knowledge and
We
stuff.
know.
It's crazy. But
We know.
anyway, I had no clue what that was. I was
Right.
like, is this a league or like, I didn't know because I just had, now when I was in high school, I played at halftime of the JV games.
You would have loved unified.
Oh,
We
yeah, you
had
would've
so
thought.
many players in my grade that I played at halftime.
Yeah.
So that's just, I'm like, oh, well, maybe this is, I had no idea what this was.
Yeah.
But our son
Right.
knew what it was.
Right.
He told me what it was, and we were watching. I was like, well, this is pretty awesome. Like, I mean, for them, for the kids and the adults to be out like in PBA.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Playing a basketball
Right.
game, like I think that would be amazing for me,
Right.
like to
Right.
be out there and
Right.
and people cheering you on and like
Right.
so that was kind of my first exposure that I knew what was going on
Yeah.
You know, and it's
with unified.
Yeah.
it's cool because like I know UNL has several unified opportunities. What I really love is on our level at the high school level. Like I said, Lincoln Public Schools has unified in all of their schools, but it's also a statewide thing, and it's also recognized by the NSAA, and it is a varsity sport.
Mhm.
So, that's something we really emphasize with our athletes and our partners in our program is we have the same expectations for you that we would have if you were on the basketball court, if you were in the swimming pool, if you were on the football field. You are a varsity athlete. We expect you to have your grades up. We expect you to be participants of good character. And I think that the NSAA and LPS have done a really good job of recognizing and embracing unified. For state track, it is in with all of the other events, as it should be, right? The state track meet takes 2 days, and unified is right in the middle of all of those things. And I think that's what I love too, is it's not something that was created, and the same with Down to Box. It's not something that was like, oh, here's this other thing.
Mhm.
It's
Right.
something that's like, no, let's put these all together
Mhm.
because everybody can do this and everybody deserves to be recognized for doing this.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to take
Yep.
a break. We just have a
Good.
few more minutes. I think this next segment, we're just going to change gears just a tad. Harris and I are going to talk.
No, we have to talk about
what?
goals.
We're going
Oh,
to talk
what are
about
your
goals.
goals?
Yeah, we
in
gotta
the
talk
next
about that.
segment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then at the top of the hour, we're going to be joined by one of the founders of Down to Box. Jonathan's going to be joining us. He's already hooked into the stream, but we'll bring him on at the top of the hour. So we'll be right back on the Fitness Fanatics.
March is a month of good luck, from epic runs in state basketball to watching Cinderella spring the upset in college basketball. And of course, St. Patrick's Day. Luck is on your side at Mullen Motors too, because their lot is full of great vehicles to take home. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride, as summer road trips are just around the corner. Your luck starts this month at Mullen Motors.
No tagline, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
This is Jay Foreman. When I played football for Nebraska and in the NFL, I wore protective gear to safeguard my health. Today, I'm not only protecting my health, but everyone in our community by staying up to date with the bivalent COVID vaccine. Update your protection with the bivalent COVID vaccine while it's still free. Find out more at healthylincoln.org. That's healthylincoln.org.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 the Ticket.
Turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza. The big one. All the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa,
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
The Ticket Water Cooler with Jake Bakoven and Enrique Alvarez Clary.
I do know the halftime entertainment.
Oh, the halftime. That's right. Red Panda's in town. Yeah! The best halftime performer in the nation. The guy that stands on chairs.
That one terrifies me.
That one I don't like.
That one scares me.
I just remember at the Bob Devaney Sports Center, for some reason, it was just always kids getting in overdressed Husker stuff and racing down the court. Like, that was the go-to. That's all they really had. It's what's funny than kids in oversized clothing. That's
perfect.
Hilarious every time. Let's do it again.
I think it's just vapor.
Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
One vape pod has as much nicotine as one pack of cigarettes.
My kid?
My kid
knows it's dangerous. 5.4 million American kids vape, and most think it's harmless. Get your head out of the cloud. Talk to your kid about vaping. Visit talkaboutvaping.org. That's talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
March is full of high school state basketball action, the NCAA tournament, baseball season starting up, all great things that also cause a lot of stress. Instead of letting your nerves get the best of you and cause uncomfortable tightness, get ahead of all of it with a massage from The Body Shop. The Body Shop in Lincoln is your place for all types of massages, deep tissue, hydrating, sports, Swedish, hot aroma, and more. And don't forget about their couples massages. Book your appointment today at thebodyshoplincoln.com. The Body Shop at 48th and A.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees an 8-hour work week, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Now back to Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, real quick, we have about 2 minutes until we go to our last break for the hour. So
we're gonna talk about goals. I'm just gonna take over because you say too many words.
all right, I'm done.
We all got our goals for this week. Last week, we all met our goals. I have a new goal. My goal is to reduce my screen time because I am on my phone way too much.
Yes.
Right. I know. So that's my goal.
Way too much.
Yeah. So there's this app called 1 Sec, like 1 second, and you can set up certain apps that it makes it you put like a 6-second delay before the app will open,
So you
which
can
I
think
think
about
is
it.
going to help because it's such a habit.
Yep.
To just pick up your phone and open Facebook, pick up your phone and open whatever. So that's my goal. But we wanted to talk to Brandy about goals too. Like no pressure, but you're in it now. You got to set a goal for the week.
So my goal, I already had it actually. My goal is I have to get out and run 10 miles this week.
This is a bad week for
10 miles. Well, I have spring break.
True.
So I don't have anything to do. It can be on my treadmill too, but I got to start training for this marathon that I'm running.
Have you
in
signed up?
December. Sign-ups don't happen for like a month.
Okay.
But I told 12-minute turtles, I'm in. Like I
did.
want to. Well, I didn't tell them, but I remember when I was on the air and I was
Yes.
like, I want to do this. So
Yes.
that was basically me telling them.
Yes.
So I got to start doing this. So I got to get out and run
total of 10 miles.
And I guess it could be walking too. I just got to get out there and do 10 total.
Get the miles on.
Yep.
In.
Have you ran at all?
2 times. I ran 2 times this year.
It's only March. You have
Yeah, can you
tons
cut
of
me some
time.
slack? I got like 9 months.
You have lots of time, but
It goes
that's
quick.
a good goal. Yeah.
Was that fast? Did I do it?
Yeah, that's a really good
Okay.
goal.
Okay.
All right. So no, and you're going to be doing the St. Jude's marathon that's in Nashville or Memphis. Okay.
Yep.
And that's the first weekend in December.
Yep.
All right. So you have plenty of time.
Yeah, I know.
And you're normally a regular attendee at the St. Jude's events,
this
right?
is year 6 for us that we will be doing it as a family.
Okay.
So
this will be the most prepared you've ever been.
that is absolutely true.
theoretically.
The first year we just showed up and ran the next day, and it was the worst
Well,
day of our
and
lives.
you've done-
Was it last year that you just decided to do the half marathon?
It was 2 years ago.
2 years ago. Okay.
We just showed up, flipped a coin at the
You didn't do the
10K.
relay? I thought you have done a relay. Have you done a relay down there?
No.
Okay. So just the 10K and 5Ks and stuff.
5K, 10K half is what we've done.
And now we're upping it.
We're gonna do
So now
full.
you're going to have to up the fundraising goal.
I know. I
Because
know.
now doing a full
I
that takes
know.
more dedication and more time and effort and stuff like that. So
I think the big thing, and you guys talk about this too, like this, like completing it, right?
Yeah.
Like I think that's my mindset is I would like to run the whole thing. But if
No.
we got to walk some of
Yeah,
them 20
no.
plus miles, we're gonna walk.
Don't plan on running the whole thing. It'll be
26, not 20 plus.
Oh.
Point 2.
26.
Point 2.
Oh.
20 plus sounds like not 21.
It'll be fine.
26.
It's gonna be
Don't
fine.
do the
And,
math.
you know,
It's fine.
you can walk 26 miles,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
So
People
you're gonna
walk marathons.
I'm fine.
you're gonna finish.
Yeah.
But it'll
And I
be
just
fun.
want to do one. I never want to do one again, but this
Mhm.
is gonna be it.
Yep.
Do you have any
that's
plans to
what
do
they
a
all say.
half before then?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna do half before then. So my goal is by the end of
You're going to do multiple halves before.
Well,
then,
you'll
just
do
so you know,
like
in
official
training. Yeah.
half marathons.
so my goal is to do like a 5K in April, 10K in May, and then just do a couple halves before we get to the full.
Awesome.
Well, there's the Good Life Halvesy.
Yep.
That'll be up
I've
there.
never done. No,
And-
I have done that once.
And the Good Life Halvesy, in when it is in October,
Yeah.
like your long training run for that day will probably be longer. Than
Oh,
the
good.
Life
Yeah,
Halvesy.
right.
So you could use
It'll
that.
be like a day off.
Yes.
for
So,
you.
all right.
Okay.
Well, we're up for a break. When we come back, we're going to be joined by one of the co-founders of Down to Box. Coming up here in just a couple minutes. 92.7 The Ticket, Fitness Fanatics.
March is a month of good luck. From epic runs in state basketball to watching Cinderella spring the upset in college basketball. St. Patrick's Day. Luck side at Mullen Motors too, because their lot is full of great vehicles to take home. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride, as summer road trips are just around the corner. Your luck starts this month at Mullen Motors.
No tag-on, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Are you a veteran looking for a new companion animal? A dog, a cat, or maybe something else? The Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs program can cover up to $350 of your pet adoption fees. Visit veteransnebraska.gov/vetsgetpets to learn more about program requirements and how to apply. Support the program. Get your Vets Get Pets specialty license plates from the Nebraska DMV, sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Station.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear. Call me Papa Bear because I'm grilling up dinner. You get it?
Yes, good job.
So what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
Learn more at smokeybear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your football buddy, your football buddy, or you, your best man, your worst man, you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. That's doihaveprediabetes.org.
Wait, did they just say 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes? That's 33.33333% of adults. That means it could be me, my boss, or my boss's boss, or me, my favorite sister, or my other sister. That's 7 members of my 21-person romantic book club. Wait, the 1 in 3 could be me, my karaoke partner Carol, or my karaoke enemy Jeff. I'm going to take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Okay, kids, Dad's gonna teach you how to dance.
First, spread your feet apart. Then, pump your knee, nod your head, shake your hips, and bite your lip ever so slightly. Now, with one hand in the air, point at people with the other hand. I call that the rock star.
Dance like a dad. It's a great way to make a moment with your kids.
Now, make a face like it just smells something bad.
Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Turning my pain into purpose is pretty much what I have done to start this foundation.
In August 2020, after the death of George Floyd, Bridget Floyd and other family members established the George Floyd Memorial Foundation in support of the Black community.
It's going to take more than just us as a foundation. It's going to take the community, the world, to make a change.
Fight for racial justice for the Black community. Learn how at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
Too many people believe that chronic pain, allergies, or illness are permanent and something you're stuck with. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness has been proving that narrative wrong for 29 years and changing lives for the better in the process. Their team is trained in the newest, most advanced pain-relieving techniques and ways to deal with toxins, allergies, pollution, and emotion that make you ill. Call today for a free consultation at 531-254-5695 or go to novotnynutritionandwellness.com. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness, located at 7th and Superior.
This is Megan Whitaker from the Nebraska golf team. If you've put your clubs away for the winter, it's time to get them back out. There's no need to stop thanks to Double Eagle Golf. Double Eagle is home to Lincoln's best indoor golf simulators. It's perfect for every level of golfer, with everything from casual games for the kids to hyper-realistic simulations of some of the best courses in the world. And the best part, no matter what the weather's doing outside, it's always golf weather inside. See for yourself. Double Eagle Golf, just 5 minutes from downtown at the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street.
Forget the lame excuses this year. Your boss already knows why you can't make it to work. Join Night on Thursday and Friday, 17th at Buffalo Wings and Rings at 68th and O for March Mayhem. Come early on Thursday to get a ping pong on it and stay on for prizes throughout and buzzer beater upsets. And Friday, enjoy green beers for St. Patrick's Day and day 2 of the NCAA tournament at Buffalo Wings and Rings, 68th and O. Welcome into Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Now here are your hosts, Jeff and Nicole Essig.
All right, welcome into hour 2 of the Fitness Fanatic. We are sponsored by Integrative Life Choices. ILC is hiring direct support professionals all over the state of Nebraska, full-time, part-time, days, evenings, and weekends. People can apply at ilc.net/careers. Direct support professionals work to ensure a meaningful life for the people they support. They work to support people in achieving their hopes and dreams. So we appreciate them as the new sponsor of the Fitness Fanatics. Well, we are so excited to be joined by Jonathan Gainey, who is the co-founder of Down to Box. How are you, Jonathan?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having me.
All right. So just wanted to chat with you here for a little bit. As you know, Farrell's in Lincoln is now one of the new affiliates.
That's the word.
Of Down to Box. We had a pretty awesome training session yesterday, kind of a demo class. So we just kind of wanted to know like how this whole thing came to be.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if you guys have ever met or talked to Lauren at all, but my partner with it all. But she was a personal training client of mine at the gym Knockout that I own up in Newark, Delaware, and she'd been training with me for about a year, and then she was looking for other ways to help her market and help her individuals in the Down Syndrome Association in Delaware. And she came to me with an idea and said that she was interested in putting together a program, asked if I'd be on board with it. So I'd worked with a number of individuals with Down syndrome up to that point, just kind of sporadically throughout the years. I've been doing personal training since I was 18 at that point. So I said, I jumped at it and I said, I think this would be a good thing. And we started the program. We had, I think, 12 to 15 individuals in the first session. We ran it for 3 months, and the idea was that we were going to run it for 3 months, and then kind of shut it down, and then restart it and run it as like kind of like a pop-up program for the community. And when we went to close it down after the 3 months, we had a whole lot of outcry, and they were upset that we were going to close it down. So we kind of scrambled around and made it a steady part of the offerings that the DSA of Delaware offers their people. So we kind of snowballed with it, and as we were doing the next 3-month program, we sat, could we spread this throughout the country? And one thing led to another. We ended up getting the 501c3 status through some help, with some local attorneys, and we kind of made it happen, and here we are.
And when was that? Did I miss that, or when did
One
you
second,
start
my cat is here. 6 years ago.
Okay,
Yes, my
okay.
cat hopped
Very
up
cool.
here. I'm sorry.
Well, I would love that. Look at it there. I just saw it.
What's that? The cat?
Yeah.
Yeah, Zoe, Queen of Darkness.
So when did like kind of what were the first where were the first few locations at? Like, how did you get that ball rolling as far as spreading it around the country?
So the first one we did was actually down in Jacksonville, Florida, and then we went out to Omaha. What we did was we attended these these NDSS community outreach thing with a lot of DSAs around the country, and Lauren and I both thought that would be a good way to kind of reach the EDs of each of the DSAs and show them what we have. And we came up with a promotional video. We obviously got the website. We got some merchandise there, and all the they have a problem in the DSA Delaware with individuals over the age of 18 not really having any outlets, but it's not localized to just Delaware. It's across the whole country. So when we went there, they were like, "Oh my gosh, we really need something for these people." And they saw the video. They kind of talked to me for a little bit. We did some presentations, and Debbie Reynolds down there at the DSA Jacksonville was the first to sign on with it. We went down there and we certified a coach named Angel Castro, and he's still on board with it, and he coaches a great program down there. And then we went out to Omaha, and we did another one there, and it kind of just kept going from there. And we attended 2 of the National Down Syndrome Association clinics, but that's been the main way that we've kind of spread the word throughout the Down syndrome community.
Now, do you guys in your location, so when I found out about Down to Box, I thought it was just for teens and young adults. I didn't realize there was a kids class until Lauren was talking to us about setting up demo classes. And yesterday Milton told us that he had this, like, the youngest group he's ever taught yesterday. If you can imagine how that went. So I'm just curious.
Oh, I know. My own kids class here in Newark, and it's a ball of energy the entire time. We normally double the coaches' amounts. So if Milton did it on his own, he agreed to to helping us with, kind of helping it in the Mid-Atlantic region more. And yesterday was his first time doing that, and he did a great job from my understanding. But the kids programs have 10 times the energy of anything. You go into a typical cardio classes, like, these kids are just bringing the energy, and as long as you can harness it and you can concentrate for about 5 minutes at a time, we can get a lot out of them.
5 minutes is pushing it. Maybe three with a 2-minute water break.
Yeah. Especially with the distractions that you normally see in a gym. Heavy bags, the music, the mirrors, they're running up at everything, want to try out everything. So,
and it was the first day, So no, it was great.
We did a training simultaneously up there in Philadelphia yesterday in the gym. Jack Costello's boxing club also had mirrors, and they were just like beeline straight from the mirrors. So they can be useful because you can kind of, without having them to turn all the time, but they have to get over that first, like, oh my gosh, this is a mirror. There I am.
Now, how many locations do you have now, and do you have any more that are in the works
With
for
Lincoln?
opening up?
Yeah, so with Lincoln, we are at 17 now. So we did the first time yesterday was the first, training by proxy through Milton, and we will be doing more of those. But yeah, we're at 17 now, and we have at least Virginia Beach that we're interested in trying to get into. We have another Philadelphia facility that contacts us, but depending on their location or their proximity to Jax, we may or may not be able to facilitate with them. But Pittsburgh we did that one last fall or so, or maybe it was actually last winter. But we've got Austin, Texas, Dallas. There's a number of facilities in Tennessee and Kentucky and Ohio. They're all kind of within driving distance, like that tri-state area. They're all interested in doing it. We even have one that we're trying to get off the ground in Hawaii, in Hawaii, but it's based
Do you
around. We
need
just
do you
had
need
our
us to
children.
go and
So
teach
my
that
son is.
training? Yeah.
You know what? I actually think that might be good. Actually,
I was thinking the same thing. Like, the three of us can go to Hawaii, and we'll stay there for the whole 10-week session.
Yeah. We better help them out.
Yeah, I think that we could definitely do that. Yeah, I think that, and then I just have to live through you a little bit if they guys don't mind.
I think we're pretty low on that list. Let's get our first session under our feet.
Our first class, right?
Right. Yeah.
Before we start tabbing ourselves as world trainers.
We'll just send you guys everywhere.
Well, Milton did a great job. I wonder if I wonder what he thought about this being his first training where he drove an hour. So he could be, leave and he's home in the same day instead of being gone for flying somewhere and all that. He's a quick trip to Lincoln for him.
Yep. That was great.
Yeah.
Gonna be good
with
for
him
us.
being that close to it was just like a no-brainer for us, and we're not gonna pick up our whole lives, fly out there for 3 days and fly back. It's just I have a 10-month-old and Lauren has a 9-month-old, so it's tough.
We're pretty fortunate to have that help so close.
Yeah,
I think so
'cause
too.
it-
Especially
yeah.
knowing that Omaha was like the second one. That's really cool. I didn't know that.
Well,
That's
and we
exciting.
have, I know there's 2 other Farrell's extreme body shapings that do down to box. One is in Madison, right? And then there's one in the Twin Cities. I'm not exactly sure which one, but we have 62 Farrells across
We
the
did
country.
both those, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. How many?
62 Farrell's locations across the country. So
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to do everything we can. I mean,
Sure.
to kind of help spread this,
Right.
and we'll post about it to the other owners. I know, I had never even heard. Of course, I don't really know what's going on in life in general. If it's not football related, my brain just doesn't retain. I don't retain any information unless it has to do with football. So or Farrell's. But I didn't even know that 2 of our Farrell's locations did down to box. Until Nicole was telling me. And then I saw a post for Madison. They had a class, and then we reached out to the owner there just to see what she thought of it. And her reply back to me was, "It is the best thing I've ever done."
Yep.
At Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping.
Yeah.
So that was kind of, and after our, Oh, go ahead, Jonathan.
No, go ahead, Master.
Well, I was going to say,
so when we,
oh, it's all you. I'm done.
There's a delay. You go, Jonathan.
Yeah, there is a delay. I'm picking up on the delay there. My apologies. But I think the program really helps in the sense that when you see these individuals walk in the door, they want to be there every time they show up, and a lot of times when you teach other classes, like group classes for typical individuals or personal training, whatever, you might not always get a very motivated individual. And with the down to box classes, they are always motivated and they always want it. They are very excited to see you every single time they come in. So that really, as a trainer, as a coach, like myself, I feed off that energy. And if there's no energy, then this is kind of like pulling teeth. But if there is energy, just like in those kids classes or in the adult classes, the same, I love it.
Okay. What was I going to say now? Oh, so talking about, the Madison owner talked about how it was one of the best experiences or best thing she's done at Farrell's. Just from my personal experience yesterday.
For 30, 40 an hour, whatever.
I don't
2
have
classes.
really any experience interacting with kids or adults with Down syndrome. Like literally zero. Zero experience for me. So just to like see the looks on their faces, especially the little kids when they put those boxing gloves on and we're just wailing on that bag and jumping. I mean, I was almost in tears, just kind of and seeing the parents' faces and like how everybody was just smiling and I mean, it was a little. Milton said, "Now we need to keep the train on the tracks." Well, the train flew off the tracks.
It was never on the tracks.
I don't know if it ever got on the tracks.
No, it did. It did.
Yeah, it was with the 7-year-olds. I mean, it was pretty.
I feel like the train, like
it was great.
It was like what's the front part of the train called?
I don't know.
The engine.
The engine. Okay.
Yeah.
It was like the engine, and like our trains were like our volunteers like hanging onto the engine, not like on the track. Like
but in the best possible
way.
way.
In the best way possible. It was
in the best way possible. It, like you said, Jonathan, it's that you feed off of that energy, and that's really what you're you know what you're building off of. So that's gonna be there every time. Yeah.
And the feedback that we've gotten just from some of the adults that were, or some of the parents, I mean, they loved it. I know like one of the parents was like, I really wish this was a full-time thing, not just a demo class. And then Brandy was like, well,
no, we are doing
we are doing this. So just
the,
kind of the response that we've gotten in less than 24 hours of the excitement, even our gym members that go to Farrell's seem like it's something that they're going to be proud to be a part of Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping. That's bringing this to the community. So I'm kind of excited to see, what it's going to lead to. I mean, we're pretty pumped about it. And so big thanks to Brandy's kind of the lead on this. Brandy, you have any other questions for Jonathan here? We got him for a few more minutes.
I was just thinking, you said you've been doing this since 2017. I know, like, if you were to say, like, in a perfect world, we would have this everywhere, but like, what do you hope for the organization here in like the next year, 2 years? I think it's pretty cool. I don't know if your intention was ever to have it blow up to be as big as it is, but it has. And so I'm just curious what you would like to see, where you would like to see it go next.
We have goals of spreading it, annually to X amount of facilities. It really just comes down to our availability. With the help of people like Milton, we'll be able to do more of that. Because like I said, or like I said earlier, it's not localized to just one area that really needs it. It's the whole country that really needs it. And the more that we can offer the program, the better these individuals are going to have, as far as access to training facilities with adequate coaching. And then, that also then trickles down into a healthier lifestyle. And then, before you know it, then you got the whole family that's in there trying to make a change and so on and so forth. So, one of the real big parts of this that maybe kind of goes unspoken is the fact that we are trying to integrate individuals that normally would never associate with or socialize with individuals with Down syndrome. We're trying to bridge that gap, so that's one of the big parts of it. And the gym that we did yesterday and yourself there, not having really any experience with or not really cross paths with them is bridging that gap is the main goal of that. But, in terms of stuff that we're looking to do, we would love to be some sort of type of a sponsor or beneficiary of a major boxing fight, whether it be, through, a big promotion in the stateside. We would love to be endorsed with with fighters across the country that see the benefit in this. Maybe, some of these fighters, they might have ties to individuals with, other IDDs, autism, or, something along those lines. But it's not just limited to just Down syndrome. And, these individuals, they need and they deserve the right and the same access to trainings as everybody else. And, we try to make sure that is available to them. And then we hold that standard for anybody that walks through the door, just the same as I would hold it for myself, and that's another big thing that the parents really like, is that the bar isn't lowered because they have Down syndrome or, autism. It's the same, and they are capable of doing everything that everybody else can do. You just got to be a little bit more patient and coax it out of them a little bit. And, you see some of these parents when they come in that like, holy crap, my child is actually able to do this. Like, well, yeah, they are. They can definitely do it. So, just overall awareness, getting in touch with the boxing industry, in terms of the fights to kind of even boost, the public exposure even more. And then, more affiliates and partnering with people like Milton work is definitely going to help us. We're working regionally for the most part. Obviously, we have the interested DSAs and gyms that are in Texas and Kentucky and Tennessee, and we'll tick those off as we can. But there's a lot of local interest that we can work with. A month or so ago, actually last week, we had a launch in White Marsh, Maryland. That's 25-30 minutes from where I live now, and we finally got somebody signed on down there. So, we're not trying to go and travel these exact places. Just, there's people that need help right on our front door that we're trying to also address at the same time.
Well, and the best way to expand is organically.
Right.
I mean, so like,
Yep.
Brandy found out about this. She went to Omaha. She saw a class, and now we're doing it. Because I think, growing organically, you're going to get people that are really passionate about, and that's Brandy. That's where her passion is. So I can't think of a better person to be leading the charge here in Lincoln than Brandy.
Well, and even what we're doing right now, we have a friend in Iowa that runs a taekwondo studio, and he's asking about information right now. So
we're gonna hook you guys up.
Yep.
And I know this is something he would love to do, so he's listening right now. His name's Norm Wrigley.
Yeah.
So shout out to Norm.
I see him here on the comments there.
Yeah. We'll have to get you guys connected, because I know he has done classes before, in that similar vein. But I think, like we talked about with Brandy, why we don't need to reinvent the wheel. This is here, and we just get to, kind of make those connections.
Yeah, I mean, we have the communications and contacts with the Down syndrome associations in the area, so we can bring the people and the training and certifications, and they just bring the studio and the energy, and we're good.
Well, and I just want to thank you and Lauren for the organization that you have. Like I said, I told Jeff and Nicole, I want to do this thing. It's an idea. This is what I want to do. I want to partner with DSAF and Farrell's for this, imaginary project I'm doing. It's not real yet, but maybe down the road. And Nicole was like, no, there's already something. And I was like, what do you mean? And so to just have it there and to be able to do what we did instead of the three of us and the DSAF, trying to piece things together, to be able to just be like, no, we know this thing works. We have resources. I'm just grateful for you guys, because if you wouldn't have been there, we wouldn't have gotten it going as fast as we are. So
Yep.
What's the best way for anybody to get a hold of you if they're out there listening and is something that they're interested in?
So the best way to do it would be to go to our website, downtobox.org. You can email Lauren and I directly there at john@downtobox.org or lauren@downtobox.org. You can also look us up on Instagram, Down the Box. It's a big red Down the Box logo. You can't miss it. You guys were on there yesterday. And every time that we do a launch, we normally get 2 or 3 more gyms that are interested in doing it. And we just add it to the list, and we're just working through trying to service everybody there. But, people like Brandy and yourself and Milton, and we'll have hopefully double this end of next year, but we'll see. But I appreciate you guys standing by the program and having a lot of faith in it and really seeing the potential with it.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us, Jonathan. We'll let you get back to your Sunday, but we're hoping that we have a nice, long-lasting relationship with Farrell's and Down to Box. So we appreciate your time, and hopefully we can get you some more locations out there across the country.
Yes, for sure, man. Guys, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you. We'll be right back here. We're going to talk about our experience yesterday with our 2 demo classes. So we'll be right back here on 93.7 The Ticket, Fitness Fanatics.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring. I was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful. I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman. Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was
really coming back.
Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
Reading may be the most valuable skill your child will ever learn. And research proves that when children read outside the classroom, they do much better in school. I'm Jenny Benson, president of the Nebraska State Education Association. It's easy to picture yourself reading with a young child curled in your lap. Don't forget about older children. They also need encouragement to read. So set aside some time to read together and help your child achieve and succeed.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Adoption of teens from foster care is a topic not enough people know about, and we're here to change that. I'm April Dinwiddie, host of the new podcast, Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Each episode brings you compelling real-life adoption stories told by the families that live them with commentary from experts. Visit adoptuskids.org/podcast or subscribe to Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Administration for Children and Families and the Ad Council.
How was your drive to school?
Let me tell you, I had to get my iced coffee first. I just can't seem to put it down. My favorite rapper just announced a tour. My phone was buzzing like crazy. I'm so excited. I had to text all my friends right then to talk about it. Then someone started calling me and...
Let's try that again.
I turned my phone off right away. I never drive distracted.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. Message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $24.11 per hour, which grows to $28.27 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $32.76 per hour with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
I know that a lot of times, Mom, it might not seem like I'm listening to you, but I am. I hear you. And what you say really does matter to me.
I mean, let's be honest. No kid likes rules, but I get why we have them. I hear you, and I know it's because you care.
For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Sponsored by DHHS and aired in cooperation with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Are you looking for a solid, stable career in assembly, CNC machining, or injection molding? We got you covered. Hi, Bob Williams, HR Director for Garner Industries, a world-class manufacturer with a 70-year history right here in Lincoln. And I just listed some great career opportunities that you can find by logging into GarnerIndustries.com. If you want top pay, excellent benefits, flexible work hours, and the opportunity to work in a clean, modern, air-conditioned facility with great people, contact me today by applying online at GarnerIndustries.com.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride, because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Hey, we need to talk about something serious. I know you love me. I know you like using me wherever you are, but I feel like this isn't working out when you're driving. I know you may think that it's possible to focus both on me and the road, but I just don't feel the same way. I think we should spend time away from each other when you're driving. It's for the best.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
This message is for Shauna, my mom who just finished her high school diploma. I wanted to say I'm so proud of you for finishing school. You told me it's never too late to achieve your dreams. I hope to make you as proud as you have made me.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Now back to Fitness Facts on 97 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back in to the Fitness Fanatics. If you missed any part of the show, you can check us out on our podcasts. It's on theticketfm.com. We're under the weeknights tab there. So we just were joined by the co-founder of Down the Box. Talked a little bit about how it got started. So this next segment, we want to talk about our experiences yesterday because Brandy had put together a demo class and just reached out to some parents that she knows and
through the DS.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like we wanted to see like, okay, is there even any interest in this?
Right.
Like, is this something we can do before we just launch it? So yesterday was just kind of our chance to do a demo to see like, okay, well, what's this all about? And
I just even that we were talking about how not reinventing the wheel,
right?
What a great partnership that was, that we were able to do our training at the same time
Right.
as the demo class.
Right.
Like
Right.
that's awesome. That's
Right.
perfect. So that was kind of cool. But
Right.
go ahead. Sorry.
So Brandy, go ahead and just talk about yesterday and you know what you saw and your thoughts and you know just kind of what we experienced.
So so we had 2 demo classes. We had 13 and under, and then we had 14 and up. And we had some volunteers. We had another instructor that volunteered. As we said, we had a lot of people who were interested for volunteering, but it just didn't align. So we had them show up. We had a couple of former students of mine and UNL students right now who wanted to volunteer. My college roommate showed up. My husband was there. And so the first demo class, like we said earlier, was littles, and it was also the youngest group that Milton, who came and helped us from Omaha, had ever taught. And so we had some littles, and then we had some older littles. And one of my favorite things about the experience was how chaotic it was. I know for Jeff, that was a bit much.
Jeff gets
I know.
overwhelmed very
Yep.
easily. He gets overwhelmed at the grocery store. Let's be honest.
Justin, and I didn't even know anyone was overwhelmed because, like I said, I don't. I was telling people yesterday, like I grew up in a loud house. We're loud people. So I remember in high school, my littlest sister would be like taking a bath. And just screaming at the top of her lungs in the bathroom. And my friends were like, "What's going on?" I was like, "What do you mean?" And they're like, "That noise." I was like, "Oh, that's just my sister singing." And we yell down the stairs, we yell up the stairs. So I didn't really think it was that chaotic. But then when we had our teens and young adults come in, and Jeff and Justin both said, "These are more my speed."
Right.
What? They didn't do
To
anything.
instruct, and
you didn't even do anything.
I didn't need to. There didn't need to be 12 volunteers out for 2 people.
Okay. All right.
But
I was observing.
I was just going to say that.
I just loved that from the second, with the first class, the second our little kids came in, they didn't even need gloves. They just started smacking into the bags, hitting them with their feet. The mirrors are in there. So everyone was super excited. We had one little participant who does sunshine cheer also. So she wanted 2 of the volunteers to hoist her up so that they could do like pyramids the whole time. And I just loved that they were ready to go. They were ready to rock and roll. And it was just, I thought it was awesome.
Yeah,
it was really cool. And we talked about this during break too, but where Jonathan had talked about how, it's not necessarily adapting the program. It's the same. We're teaching, coaching the same as we would with any, demographic. And I really liked that he mentioned that because that was something that Milton said a lot in his training too, and it was really cool. And, we have experience with doing classes with kids. We used to partner with a organization in Iowa, Altoona Kids Cafe. And during the summer, we would like wheel a bag out and we would do classes with kids. Sure. And it was very similar. It was the exact same scenario. And it's just like when we have people come to Farrell's sometimes and they're trying out a class, they come with a friend and they'll be like, "Oh, I don't know if I want him to come to whatever. Oh, Jeff's instructing. I don't know." And I'm like, well, they don't know the difference. It's fine. Like they're new. They don't know the difference.
There's modifications, right? Like
you're going to only do what you can do. Right. So like, that's what's really cool about it because it to me, it felt just like being right back in there, you're just right back in there herding cats, keeping the attention spans. And, we I have a terrible attention span, so I think I can relate a little bit more to
And I just
to
loved,
that.
I loved the number of times that you heard Milton go, bring it in,
Yeah.
bring it in, bring it in, because no one was bringing it in. So I loved that. I also loved, one of my good friends, Mary, her little boy Henry was there, and he was all into. And bless his dad, Luke, who made us a really nice little video.
Yeah.
He just wanted to get like footage, and
Yeah.
Henry was like, "Go away."
He was over it by the end. Dad.
Like, I'm trying to do this boxing class. Let me do my thing.
Yeah.
I like I said, I thought it went great. There was one point where we got out like a ladder and they did like ladder drills. And that was the greatest thing I've ever seen. Like that made my whole entire Saturday, because watching a bunch of, 7, 8, 9-year-olds try and do in, out on a ladder is excellent.
And it was
just awesome.
The effort was there. That was what was so great about it. It was really fun. But the training was great. We had an hour prior to the demo class with Milton where he just talked a lot about the program and kind of expectations and stuff like that. That was really cool. It's the part about, just partnering with somebody that's the expert, and that was great, because that is not what it would have looked like if it would have just been us trying to figure out what we were doing.
I can't even imagine if the three of us would have tried to put this together and just showed up and been like, okay, over and over again. It would have
the kids just running.
It would have been like daddy daycare, like at the beginning when they first try and figure out how they're going to structure it.
And we talk about how it was chaotic, which there's no way it wouldn't be.
No.
But yeah, Milton did just a great job of still bringing it together, and they, learned some skills in that time. And, that was really cool. And then once we got to the older group, very different kind of experience, but also super rewarding, very cool. I liked that part too.
I really liked our older demo class had 2 individuals show up, which was awesome. And I really liked though that because there were only 2, it kind of gave us a chance to just be this like giant cheer section, right? Like you would see if someone was in a boxing ring and people around the outsides cheering. And the one thing I really liked about the adult demo class was at the end when Milton, so he brought his gear and let them like,
because Milton is like a boxing.
He does like
he's
actual
a
boxing things.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes. He's not an average Jeff.
No. And so he brought like his boxing, like a bodysuit and let him punch. And then with the older kids at the end, I saw him like, was it to you he leaned over to or to you?
He was asking me about it.
And he was like, hey, do you care if I let them punch me in the head? And like he put on like his headgear, put in a mouth guard, put his hands up and just let the two gentlemen that were there just pound on him for 10 seconds.
Yeah.
But I also really liked that.
I was like, is this happening?
I know
right
I
now?
was too. I was like, well, we're not doing this when we do ours. No. But I really liked that, he was very, at the beginning, he was very, very conscious of saying, we don't hit people.
Right.
We don't hit people.
Yes.
Like we're doing this for fun.
Yeah.
We've had fun today. But we're not going to leave here today and go punch people.
We don't need
right.
We don't need them punching somebody in the face.
Somebody
and be
just being like,
where'd you learn that? Oh, Farrell's extreme body shaping.
Down to box.
Yeah.
Down to box.
No, he did a great job. And I think that was part of kind of bridging the gap too, because there was, he knew that this would be exciting for them, and it would also be kind of a little bit of a confidence boost. So we had one participant, one boxer that has had experience with Down to Box on the virtual platform. Maybe during COVID, I think they had like a virtual. And then we had a boxer that really didn't have a lot of experience. So it was definitely a great way for him to kind of bridge that gap so they could both leave with that confidence boost of like, wow, so that was really cool to see too. Like,
and
very
you,
good
and you had one boxer who really liked boxing and loved the idea of hitting Milton. And the other one, the second time when he got a chance, was like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
Hitting him in the head one time was enough for me.
Yes. Yeah. So that was really, really cool.
Maybe for your fundraiser for St. Jude's, people can take shots at you. Brandon.
Yes.
Your helmet gear on.
I have a
mouthpiece.
feeling there'd be some people who would really, really like that.
Well, maybe not headshots.
Right.
Maybe we'll get one of the body things.
Just stomach punch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I feel like we'd raise more money if you wore it.
That's Jeff. Originally, that was Jeff's thought yesterday.
Oh my gosh, there'd be after this burpee tag I experienced.
We'd have like no teeth.
There'd be a line of people down the Meadow Lane Shopping Center
Just
to come in.
punching their gloves.
$5.
Maybe
couple
we'll have
headshots.
to ship you off to Omaha and you can do some training with
Listen,
Melton.
Yes.
And then you will be a professional and you can learn how to take those shots. He was so protected. He had that whole face gear and he was holding his hands up. I think you could do it.
I have been punched. I've never been in a fight in my entire life. Like in school, or I was punched one time in the face in 5th grade. And I don't even know why he punched me in the face, but we're playing basketball or something. That's it. It's the last time I've been punched in the face. And I never want to experience that again. Headgear or no headgear. Like I do kickboxing and I like punching the bags because they're not going to punch me back.
Yep.
Like I don't want to. I remember when we were in Altoona, like, but Norm, like, oh, you should come out and spar. No, I don't want to spar with anybody. I don't want to be punched.
You know, it's interesting you say that. So I am not a competitive person at all. Like, no, I like to do things, but like, I don't.
Yeah.
You know, and when I started Farrell's, I remember my parents came to visit and my dad was like, show me your gloves, you know, and I got my stuff out and he's like, so when are you going to when do you guys spar? And I was like, what? And he's like, what do you, I was like, no, Dad. And he was like, then why? I was like, that's why I like it. Because we're not doing that.
It's for fun.
Right.
But it's good. Like, if somebody were to attack you out
I'm
somewhere,
ready.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
You would know how to defend
Back
yourself.
fist.
Yes.
Yeah.
100% finishing move.
You could give in a roundhouse to the face
Yep.
and they wouldn't even know what hit them.
That's true.
Right?
That's pretty true.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to take a break. Now, when we come back, Harris and I are going to talk a little Bears football. So, to close out the show, we've been waiting since
good. How
9
exciting.
o'clock
I
to
know.
talk about this.
Riveting.
So, we're going from, helping people to our own self-interest coming up. So, we're just going to spend 5 minutes to break this down. We're both Bears fans, and a big trade happened in the NFL. So, we're going to go ahead and finish up the show with a little NFL talk. So, we'll be right back here on the Ticket 93.7.
March is a month of good luck. From epic runs in state basketball to watching Cinderella spring the upset in college basketball. And of course, St. Patrick's Day. Luck is on your side at Mullen Motors too, because their lot is full of great vehicles to take home. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride, as summer road trips are just around the corner. Your luck starts this month at Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club or space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? No, forget that. How about a margarita club? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge and join the best club in town. 10 Maui Wowie, burnt pineapple, and mango tango. Try all 10 of them and receive your own souvenir margarita glass. Make it your new Monday night tradition. $4 margaritas and $4 taco baskets. Grab the crew and head on over. Monday nights or any night. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Forget the lame excuses this year. Your boss already knows why you can't make it to work. Join 93.7 The Ticket on Thursday and Friday, March 16th and 17th at Buffalo Wings and Rings at 68th and O for March Mayhem. Come early on Thursday to get a ping pong ball with a lucky team on it. And stay all day for prizes throughout and buzzer beater upsets. And Friday, enjoy green beers for St. Patrick's Day and day 2 of the NCAA tournament at Buffalo Wings and Rings, 68th and O.
I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out. Because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear, call me Papa Bear because I'm grilling up dinner. Do you get it?
Yes, good job.
So what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
As an 18-year-old, I let my mistakes kind of take over my life. I was 0.5 credits away from completing high school, and I didn't do it.
10 years later, at age 28, Jackie finished her high school diploma.
When I found out that I was pregnant, I know that I had to do something for myself if I wanted to make her a better person and provide a better life for her. My family never stopped pushing for me to be better because they knew what I could become and who I could become as a person. My support team is amazing. The educational director, my sister, and even my 7-year-old daughter has just been more than the support that I could ask for. I've had an opportunity, and I'm thankful for it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Are you a veteran looking for a new companion animal? A dog? A cat? Or maybe something else? The Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs Vets Get Pets program can cover up to $350 of your pet adoption fees. Visit veterans.nebraska.gov/vetsgetpets to learn more about program requirements and how to apply. Want to help support the program? Get your Vets Get Pets specialty license plates from the Nebraska DMV. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. At 4 a.m, my phone rang. They said, "I regret to inform you that your husband was wounded in action." Victor sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. I was doing school full-time, and I was also then caring for Victor. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself. I just didn't want to forget that I also had goals and that I also had a life. What I did is I challenged Victor to meet me halfway. There are almost 6 million military and veteran Christians. We have our own journey, and we can fulfill that journey at the same time that we are helping our loved one.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
I always had to be so good, no one could ignore me. Carve my path with data and drive. But some people only see who I am on paper. The paper ceiling, the limitations from degree screens to stereotypes that are holding back over 70 million stars. Workers skilled through alternative routes rather than a bachelor's degree. It's time for skills to speak for themselves. Find resources for breaking through barriers at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
Now back to Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right. Welcome back into the Fitness Fanatics. We're going to wrap up here. We usually always have an NFL segment with our guests. So we didn't do that. So now we're going to do it now.
Did you talk about this with Brandy at all?
No, but I know the Bears. I know of the Bears.
But you don't watch pro football.
No, she doesn't.
You don't have a pro football team.
No, I don't.
Okay.
Well, surprisingly, hold on.
Don't say the Chiefs.
No, like 15 years ago, I was like, I need an NFL team. Okay. I grew up in Wyoming, so I don't even have like, you know, and I don't really think it matters with the NFL. Anybody picks who they want, right?
15 years ago.
15 years ago.
Okay.
15 years
Put
ago.
all the teams in a hat.
Oh, gosh.
Drew one out.
See, this is
And it was
the Bears.
Oh,
okay. So I did follow them for like 5 years, and then I was like, I still don't like this. So I'm just
they're terrible. They haven't been
so-
good.
I'm not doing it.
Right.
Now,
Okay.
Does Justin have a favorite NFL team, like, or does he not really care that much either?
The Chiefs.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so
And my brother-in-law,
That's fine.
the Broncos.
okay.
Oh, interesting.
So, and I do have a fantasy football team,
Okay.
Okay.
but what you're going to talk about, I probably will have no say.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whatsoever.
So Harris and I are both Bears fans, and usually like every show kind of mention this, but the Bears had the number 1 pick in the draft, and they made a trade on Friday. So Harrison, what are your thoughts on the Bears trade? Something you expected? Like what were your gut reactions?
So I'm happy. They sought out the Panthers, and they knew what they're going for. They're looking for teams that absolutely need a quarterback. Real quick, let's just break this down.
Yeah, I
because
need to know what happened.
They got a haul. So we'll just break down real quick. So the Bears, they would trade away their number 1 overall. In return, they would get the number 9 overall pick, a second round pick, 61 overall, and then a first round pick in 2024, a second round pick in 2025, and wide receiver DJ Moore. That's the cherry on top, because DJ Moore, I mean, in the last 3 seasons, he's had over 1,000 yards Jeff, who have his quarterbacks back?
Okay, now I know this because I just read this.
Yeah,
Nicole, I wouldn't.
I'm
So you
used
got-
to it by now. It's fine.
I mean, household names: Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, PJ Walker.
Well, that's-
household names.
that's
Cam Newton.
really cool. So Bears caliber quarterback.
Well, he's definitely now. Bears caliber quarterbacks. Come on.
He's used to carrying the load.
Yes, and at no point, of course, I was just on my phone 10 times a day typing in Bears rumors, Bears trade. It's
You gotta know.
important life
Mhm.
decisions
That
that
makes
I,
sense.
that I have to pay attention to. And it never that I see DJ Moore be included in this.
I was wondering about that.
Yeah, so no, I'm pretty pumped too because it gives the Bears a legit number one receiver, which they were looking to get.
Yeah, they got Claypool, but he's okay. He still has problems a lot of times just getting separation.
Right.
Like he I don't know. It's just his route running because he's plenty fast, but for whatever reason, especially when you have a younger quarterback and you have to have guys get a little more separation and they'll ease into it. But right now, those perfect throws are just a younger quarterback's gonna have a hard time throwing those.
Yep.
So timeout.
Oh, timeout.
I just have I have a draft I have a draft question.
Okay.
So how can they be guaranteed like the second round pick or the first round pick next year, second round pick the following year? When don't you have to be like the worst team to get the first round pick?
For your lottery type deal.
So let's say Carolina, let's say going so in this year's draft, the Bears, yes, were the worst
Right.
team in football.
Right.
So they had the number one pick. Okay, so for 2024, we get Carolina's first round pick, no matter
Wherever
where
it
it
is.
is.
Got it.
So if Carolina's the worst team in football this upcoming season, then their first
You'll get
round
the
pick
first
belongs to
overall
the
of
Bears.
all.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Yes.
But
So
I thought you meant
anywhere.
like the first. Okay, I
Yeah.
thought
Not
you
the
meant like
first
the first
overall.
overall. I was like, how can they do that?
No, just wherever they. So if Carolina
Got
picks
it.
fifth, then it would be the Bears pick,
Got it.
which is important because
That was a good
Carolina.
question.
Yeah, great question.
Thank you.
Carolina traded their best offensive weapon away, so you kind of think they're not going to be all that great. At least, so now there'll be two teams that Harris and I will be really focusing on in 2023: the Bears and the Panthers. Like we're cheering every week for the Panthers to lose because we want that pick to be as valuable as possible. So now if Fields doesn't work out, you have 2 first-round picks that you can trade up and get another quarterback.
Don't say that though.
Well,
That'll make me sad.
But it's a possibility.
It is.
What
so
are
no,
the
that's great.
Panthers looking to get with their new first
Well,
overall pick?
obviously the Panthers, there's a lot of teams that need quarterbacks. So when you pick first, you get the first choice, whoever they want.
Okay.
They were likely to get the 4th choice,
Right.
where they were sitting.
Okay.
So that's why they needed to make the move.
Yeah.
Right. And there were other teams that wanted to go up and get to number 1. So that was, and I'm kind of glad that it's over. Right.
It feels good. And the way it worked
Right.
out too, because I think I damn know well that Carolina did not want to get rid of DJ Moore. I'm sure that was where the Bears were like, it's either 3 first-round picks or 2 first-round picks and more.
Right.
And I think that's because, like you said, I didn't see that anywhere. I think it just finally got down to it. And that's great for us, though, because like you said, we got the Panthers' upcoming pick now, and now they're going to have a quarterback. And who's he going to throw to?
Yeah.
Now they just lost their best wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
So
it'll be a while. Like they're not going to come out swinging next season.
No.
Yeah.
And tomorrow the legal tampering begins. So
Lifts,
well, you can now teams can start talking to free agents.
Right,
So
yeah.
not only do the Bears have all these draft picks, but they have the most salary cap space in the league. So they can go sign free agents. So if you don't win the Super Bowl, the next best place to be
is the worst.
Right?
Yeah.
Because sometimes teams get into the area where they just miss out and they're always picking like 10th, 12th,
Packers.
15th,
Right.
17th,
Mhm.
13th, 9th, 8th. I mean, but it's not very often that you get the number 1 pick. And the greatest part about this whole thing is that the Houston Texans had the number 1 pick, but our former coach, Lovie Smith, who led the Bears to the Super Bowl in 2006, kind of knew he was on his way out, and he gave the big finger to the Texans organization, and now they're picking second. They don't get the first choice. So, but anyway, it was a great show. Thank you, Brandy.
Yes, for
for
everything.
joining us. So next week, hopefully, we'll have our $1,000 winners in studio for the 10-week challenge. So that's coming up.
Yeah.
But that's all we have. So hope you guys have a great week, and we'll see you next Sunday.
Mm-hmm.